Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, this was going to be on Rough Riders. However, I kind of got sidetracked and started showing everything other than Rough Rider that SMKW did. And, well, I still have at least one other knife. Well, no, this other one is a Rough Rider. But before I get into the Rough Riders, I thought we needed a cameo appearance by the Green Skull Stiletto. This is by Black Legion. I needed to show it because, I mean, if I'm breaking out inexpensive budget modern folders, I got to show the Green Skull Stiletto. Yeah, this is one. It does have a pocket clip. I removed the pocket clip on mine. Skip has one with a pocket clip on it, but he doesn't have the red and the white Green Skull Stiletto. So I got a white Skull Stiletto and a red Skull Stiletto. Those still have the pocket clips. Don't believe me? Red Skull Stiletto and a white Skull Stiletto. Still with the pocket clips. Anyway, these are not Rough Rider. Like I said, these were by Black Legion, but one of those, to me, that's the cool thing about some of these, whatever you want to call them, mall ninja knives, truck stop knives, whatever you want to call them, they can be really fun. And this one is definitely fun. This is more fun than you should be able to buy for $10. That's all I'm going to say. I really like the old Green Skull Stiletto. Anything in zombie green. And as long as we're talking zombie green, well, before we get into the zombie green, I've been trying to find the Pack-A-Wood version of this knife. I'm going to have to, I don't know if I've already done it or not, but I need to compare this to the Pack-A-Wood version of the Bullfrog, because there is another one that is the Bullfrog and Pack-A-Wood, and it is slightly different than this. For one thing, it is a little bit larger. This, I don't even remember what box the other one came in, but this is the box that the Bullfrog came in. And inside this box, we'll see a little box, and that is the Rough Rider Tadpole. And the Tadpole is this one here, this itty bitty thing with that itty bitty blade. And this knife really took off like gangbusters. This is the Tadpole was the, what is it? The RR2313, but it was quickly referred to as the Angry Watermelon, and that really caught on to the point that Rough Rider actually came out with a version of this that was known as the Angry Watermelon. And then there was also, I don't remember all the other names, the War Pickle or something like that. There were all sorts of names for this. But it led to several other knives coming out similar to that. I think this one is the Lightning Bug. And this one's in green, glows in the dark. Yeah, the Angry Lightning Bug. Notice, and the like the Angry Watermelon also has a little eye up there. But this one is the Angry Lightning Bug. So they've come out with a variety of these little knives. And that's where a general pattern for it would have been great. If there was a pattern for it so that you could look these up easier, because they're very difficult to find unless you know the name. At least it seems that way to me. But there's a variety of them on SMKW. In any case, those are some of the most, this is one of those, the most fun you're going to be able to get for $8. That's what a lot of people look at with the, with these little flickers that they have here. The one that started it all was the Tadpole, which was the little baby of the Bullfrog. The Bullfrog did not catch on quite like the Tadpole did. But this is a really nice knife. Action is really smooth. The lockup is really good. I did not care that much for the pocket clip, which makes it a little wider, but you can see that's the way it would look with the pocket clip, and there's the branding that you have on there, the RR. Otherwise, you don't see anything. The other branding you have on here is pretty small. I showed that before. I really like this knife. But we need to move on from the bullfrog and the tadpole and the angry lightning bug and move on to another knife. And this is another one I have shown in the past. This is the Route 66 flipper. Well, actually, this is only with a thumb stud, but it is definitely spring assisted. You can see there, Rough Rider on the blade. And the pattern number for this one was 1714, RR 1714. Now, the reason you can't see the whole pattern number there is because this came with just a right-hand thumb stud. And like I mentioned before, I'm left-handed, so I wanted a left-hand thumb stud. And because the liner lock dropped down enough, I was like, I should be able to flip that thumb stud over. So I actually did do that. So this thumb stud has been flipped. It was originally set up for a right-hand person. I turned it around to make it a left-hand person. I did that by just popping it out, screwing it back in. I got to put a little more Loctite on it though. A little loose, but it did screw in. You see, this is the actual side of the knife that you're supposed to be looking at. And notice how it is all nicely highlighted and everything. Well, this side was dark. The Route 66 portion and everything was dark. And so what I did was I took some sandpaper and I sanded over it to remove the finish and get it nice and bright. So now both sides match. I removed the the pocket clip. So you do see some extra holes there as opposed to what you see over here. So this was supposed to be the front side, but I made the back side look the same. And so I made it a left-handed knife. Next up, not quite zombie green, but zombie nick. Zombified knife here from the Zombie Nick series of knives. Now, there were actually some modern folders in the Zombie Nick line, as well as a neck knife and a few other things. But this was the modern folder I picked up. You can see the pocket clip there. Definitely is not reversible or anything, but it does have thumb studs on both sides. I would love it if it had a flipper, but it is assisted opening and it flips really well. And you see there, Zombie Nick, stay sharp, run fast. And then on the back side, Rough Rider. This was the RR 1475. And you have the green skulls with all the blood splatter. Actually, you have green zombies with all the blood splatter on there. And the lanyard hole in the back. Nice open construction so you can wash all the zombie guts out of the knife after you finish going through all the zombies and taking out their brains. So really nice knife. Good shape on the blade. These are really difficult to find, and I don't think they're ever going to come out with Zombie Nick knives again, but that was a really cool one. And this is a cleaver with a little bit of a blue tone to it. If you notice, you got blue anodized aluminum there, and the blade also has a slightly blue sheen to it. And I think this is black G10 on the handles. Open construction again. Again, you do have metal liners going on in the inside, and thumb stud only. And you can see the blue anodized torque screws down there. Yeah, it did have a blue anodized pocket clip too, but as you can tell, I have this thing against pocket clips. I just don't really care that much for them on a lot of knives. And the main reason is I'm either throwing them in a pouch or I'm throwing them in a pocket anyway. And where I live, I don't need to signal everyone that I have a pocket knife in my pocket. So I don't care too much for the pocket clips for that reason. But you can see that one. Big old cleaver blade. It's got that little bit of a bump right there. And I actually use this for cutting up way too much cardboard one day. I mean, way too much, but it held up well. 440A on the stainless steel blade. You can see here it is RR 1928. I've had this one for a good 5 or 6 years. I still use it occasionally for hacking stuff up. Really nice though, and the handle is really good. I like the mold in the G10 there. That feels really comfortable. Gives you a nice firm grip on it and everything else. Really like it. And the blue anodization was pretty cool too. So that's another one of the Rough Riders. And somewhere along the way, I said, I really got to get myself a camouflage Rough Rider modern folder. And so I basically went on eBay and said, is there a camouflage Rough Rider modern folder? And this is what popped up. And as you can see, it's in some kind of mossy oak or some kind of tree camouflage. And you got some lanyard or paracord on the side here. Okay, kept getting interrupted and I was losing my train of thought. But anyway, so I'm back now. Like I said before with these things, I'm trying not to do a lot of editing with this. So you're going to see a little bit of disruption at that point. But in any case, like the paracord here, I guess this is a lanyard, you know, for your hand or something. That's pretty cool. But you can also take it off and use it if you needed to in a survival situation. You know, in case, you know, there were zombies were attacking the mall and all you had was your paracord, you know, or needed your paracord to make a zombie trap or something. I don't know. Anyway, pocket clip is still on there. Like, I think I already mentioned that it's not reversible. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. This was the RR 1867, double thumb studs and a flipper. Down at the bottom here, liner lock again. Almost all of I think all of them are liner locks. Rough Rider is now coming out with some with an axis lock. I will have to pick one of those up. I have seen one. I had it in my possession all of 2 days, I think, and saw it all of like 1 day. And that was because that was part of the traveling Rough Rider challenge that's going on, and that knife went out in the Traveling Rough Rider Challenge. Hopefully those videos will start showing up soon. But in any case, the biggest issue I have with this is right here, the fuller. I wish it didn't have a fuller at all, or if it did have it, I wish it was on both sides. But that fuller is sort of deep, so if they had it on both sides, it would be very much a weak point in the blade. So I would just ditch the fuller completely. And I would have probably left the holes out of the blade too. That's the only thing I'm not crazy about with this knife. It's got a nice drop point there. I don't know if you need all that jimping up here on top, but it kind of looks cool. I think that's really what this was going for, you know. There's definitely a cool factor on this knife. Why else would you have paracord wrapped around it the way you do here? And you got the black underlayment underneath the, I'm not sure what this handle is. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. Some kind of FRN with the holes in there and open construction and everything. But in any case, that's, you know, I wanted a camouflage one. I got a camouflage one. It's pretty cool. Anyway, you know, definitely Mall Ninja stuff. Speaking of Mall Ninja stuff, how about every color in the rainbow? And this one here, and I don't even know if this one has a pattern number on it because it's so old. This is a very early one. I did have the pattern number somewhere. As you can see, once again, it's supposed to have a pocket clip, but I removed it. And you've got the blue and the red and the gold here, and open construction. Nice liner lock. The only problem with this one is, again, I reversed the thumb stud. This is a right-hand thumb stud. The liner goes pretty far over, but really loose blade here. I don't think this one is, yeah, this is not, this one does not have assisted opening. You have to roll this one around all by yourself, but it is a really light touch. I didn't check on all these, but this one is a little loose. I could probably tighten it up a bit. No, might be able to tighten it up, but it's a different kind of tightening device there. Stainless steel, Rough Rider. Wonderful finish on there, though. You can see where some of the finish is rubbing off from me doing the old thumb stud roll here, see? Right there. But yeah. I don't know, I just really like that one. I saw this one on eBay, and then I tried to find it in the Rough Rider catalog, and this is one of the ones that was an RR 100 series kind of knife, so it's a very early knife that they made, and just had to go ahead and grab it. It's like I was looking for a modern folder by Rough Rider, found one in red, blue, and gold. You don't see that every day. Well, maybe you do, but let's look at this one next. And this is one a little later, and this has like contours in it, and you see the contours on the blade there. Another flipper, 2 gold thumb studs, and this is a liner lock, one of the few liner locks I picked up. And it is not assisted. You have to give it a little bit of a flip, I believe. Yeah, this is not assisted. It's just running on bearings, so this is a later one. But as you can see here, and you can feel all this contour in the blade, and it's I don't know what kind of anodization they did on this. It's the 1984, and as long as I keep my finger on the pocket clip, I can flick it really well. This thing really flicks nice. Have a little bit of a harder time closing it because it is a frame lock, but it opens and closes pretty good. Yeah, really smooth action. I don't know how well it's going to cut all the time because of all these this contour lines and everything in the blade here, but it does seem to cut pretty well. You also got that piece right there. The only thing that bothers me with it is I wish it would have been a liner lock, and I wish this would have been something that you could reverse over to the other side and move the pocket clip around or something. Or if it was just at least pocket clip on the bottom there. But I keep the pocket clip on this one simply because I am left-handed, and it gives me a place to rest my thumb and keep it off of the frame lock. Because if you put your thumb on the frame lock, you slow the action down. But this was a pretty interesting one. I grabbed it. I think I actually bought that one in person. And now for my favorite of the Rough Rider modern folders. And I have shown this one many a times, and we'll show it again. I actually owned 3 of these, gave 2 of them away, and I regret giving them away. I wish I still had them. And that is the Feeling Groovy with tie-dye. And that is this one. And this is one strong assisted opener. Is that not fast? And you got the tie-dye going there. This is the orange one. They also had a pink one. I had 2 orange and 1 pink. This is the, man, can I even make that out? Let me try and zoom in and see if I can make it out. Woo! RR 1556. Yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, let's do some of that Feeling Groovy stuff, huh? Ooh. Yeah. It's like a flashback to Rowan and Martin's Laughing, where they would do that with the camera. Remember those days? Some of you do. Other people are going like, who's Rowan and Martin? You bet your sweet bippy. Yeah. This was so fast. And open construction, the tie-dye liners, the tie-dye blade, the orange swirl and the plastic here, and just how effective and how well this knife works. I have told them many a times they need to come out with this knife again, and they should also make one in like green and black. I'm talking about like a all blacked out murdered out black blade and black liners, and then a nice dark green cover on there would be really cool, and I think that would sell like crazy. And they maybe they need to make one for, yeah, it's a little loose. I can tighten it back up if I want to, and I will in a bit, but yeah. Got a spot there for your lanyard if you want to do a lanyard. You can obviously remove the pocket clip, but this one all tie-dyed and everything, just don't want to remove it. I really like this knife. This is my favorite Rough Rider modern folder, modern flipper, let's put it that way. In any case, I think that runs through all of my Rough Rider modern folders that I can find. There might be a couple other ones out there that I cannot find at the moment. It is not something that I actively collect, but every once in a while I'll get this bug to buy a modern folder, and 9 times out of 10 I go and say, what modern folder has Rough Rider come out with, and take a look at them, because I would much rather spend $8, $9, $10 on a Rough Rider modern folder than $200 on a Spyderco or a Benchmade or something like that, or some of the other very popular brands out there. Wrong size. Let's see here. Other brands out there, the quality high-end ones that I can't afford, or would rather spend money on some other knife instead of a modern folder. And I have found that the Rough Riders are really good, so I like them. Let's get you a little tighter. Yeah, I know a little bit about modern folders, Torque screws, that's a really good thing that you can tighten knives up with it and everything. There we go, nice and tight. Still flicking. Yeah. Anyway, that's my reasoning behind it. Now, if I were, is this a Magna Cut? No. Do I need Magna Cut? No. Do I need S30V on something like this when all I'm going to be doing is cutting up a box once in a while or something like that? No, I don't. But I get it. I understand. Can you have bragging rights on a feeling groovy Rough Rider tie-dye flipper? Yeah, but you're not going to have the same bragging rights as you do on, your what do they call them? Sprint Run, Spyderco Para 2 with Magna Cut and gold-filled micarta, that's going to be, of course, these bragging rights cost me $12. Your Sprint Run Spyderco is probably going to cost you $300 or more. So, yeah, I would, for the price, I would rather have the bragging rights for the tie-dye. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps it up for the modern folders here, and it also, I think, will wrap it up for this knife chat. It's in 6 parts or so, probably runs about an hour and a half. But what I will do is, depending on what you guys think of these knife chats, like this broken up thing, instead of something that runs for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and would you rather have something like this where I talk about a bunch of different knives over and break it up into sections so that it focuses on some kind of knife, even though it is a little bit scatterbrained and a little bit off topic a little bit here and there, but in general, there's a theme to each section of the knife chat that I'm doing here. If you like this, please let me know. And also, consider hitting that like button and that, the comment. I love to hear comments, and, share it with your friends. But really, the biggie is it does matter if you hit that like button or not. I don't know how all of the algorithms work with YouTube, but I do think there's still something to the like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you're enjoying this, please do subscribe and hit that little bell, because if you do that, you'll know when the next episode is going to come up. And as I mentioned before, all of this is going to be added into a single playlist. So I think this is 6, maybe 7 parts. I'm not sure, but all the parts will be together. Parts 1 through 7 or parts 1 through 6, all for this particular knife, this particular Knife Ramble, I think is what I was referring to it as. So they'll all be together in one spot, so you can go 1 through 7 or 1 through 6, however many it ended up being. In any case, with that said, I will let you go. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the other sections. And if you haven't seen all the other sections, look for the playlist button at the very end of this one, and it will bring up all the other ones. That's the way it works. Talk to you again soon.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.